what you were doing at that job. And be specific. So I know a few of you showed me, you brought in your old resumes, which is awesome. And some of them could be more elaborated. So maybe you just put the name of a club that you're in. But if someone's not exactly in your major or maybe didn't go to NC State, they might not know that club or they might not know that specific job role that you had at a company. So you want to make sure that you explain that thoroughly because it could be awesome and really helpful for you to get that job. But if the person reading your resume doesn't know what it is, that's not going to be much help, right? So page 10, when doing your resumes, is going to really, really help you. Make sure if you do have a resume to replace those words like got or did or went, just so that it means more than just those.
And make sure you use a variety of the words. So while you can have a great action verb, if you keep on using that word, it's going to get pretty boring, it's going to get pretty old really quickly.
Okay, so up here we have brainstorming accomplishments, and then just kind of to go over different types of things. So not everyone is going to have every single category on here. Can someone give me an example of what one of these categories would be? What you would put under a heading like this? Yeah.
So for athletics, I could say that I was track captain in high school.
Yeah. Awesome. Anyone else have any ideas? Would awards maybe be one? An awards that you got? You've done any community service, what would that go under?
Service.
Thank you. Yeah. So there's plenty of different things that they could fall under actually. So my resume has only 4 different categories, but someone else might have 7. But they all could go under the same. So you want to just kind of understand what these categories mean and tailor it to those experiences. You don't want to have 5 different headings for only a few actual activities. So if you can group them together as academics and put your study abroad, NC State, your GPA, include relevant coursework, that's all awesome. And just include that in one section rather than having it all scattered out across the page and just make sure it's all in one spot. Does anyone have any questions on this? I know there's some that would be specific, but I'm not going to drill them all if you don't. Okay, so we're going to do the resume activity now. I believe, did everyone get one when we walked in? Yes? Okay. Oh wait, let me put this back. So you're going to fill out that sheet that we had when you first walked in. Yeah. And so what you have is a bad resume. Not bad, but not perfect. And so what we want y'all to do is to go through and pick out what you would change based off of what we just went over, based off of your own experience. If this was your best friend's resume and they came to you and said, hey, can you help me? What would you recommend to them to change? So you can write all over it, work with the partner, work with the person next to you, and just kind of go over it together and figure out what should be changed.
Yeah, so first of all, that's this one, the thing that begins on this one has a semicolon, and then actually starts to be in bold. And it just says internship. It says, does he want to get it? Does he want to what? I want to. Yeah,
I know that there might be one
Good stuff.
these, you can see these are like two specific things. Not transferable skills.
How's it going? Good stuff.
Also, no one knows what this is. You should wear out the full thing. Also, most of these extracurricular activities are often done. Yeah, like that. That's no one cares. What you like to make. Okay, the stickers. Remains inside. Keep down. I mean, he already mentioned AutoCAD. There should be a skills. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's expensive. Registered independent. Alright, that's a pretty skill. You should split up extracurricular. Yeah, you should split up. Yeah, this needs to be split up. Yeah, it's like a organization and now to everybody.
Okay, does everyone think they found at least like 2 or 4 things?
So a lot of people are tearing this resume apart, which is awesome.
Okay, so we have candy again, so we're gonna go around and ask y'all what you think first before we tell you some of the things that we found. Anyone give me something that you think you're doing? Yeah.
All the bullets in the line.
Chocolate or vanilla? It's not really vanilla, it's like caramel, so. Yeah,
His name and stuff need to be centered on the page.
good, yeah. Yeah, you want to?
Extracurricular activities is not bolded, like the title heading.
Good catch, yes.
You guys putting limits in North Carolina for like work experience when you already had it up top.
Can you say that loud? Yeah, can you say that one more time?
You kept repeating Wilmington when you already had it at the top.
Yeah.
NC State should be on top of high school, and probably education should be very top of
Agreed. Yeah, especially if you're a student, you guys want to make sure that you're highlighting that you're still in college and
Can you raise your hand if you could say to that? Okay. Sorry.
highlighting that you're still in college and that you're looking for maybe an internship or a part-time job. Not until you're graduated will your experience be more important than being an NC State student.
Just like a lot of NC State students between that in North Carolina and like there's like a path of all of NC.
Yeah, and it's not really consistent, right? Yeah. Because the bullets are square bullets and the dashes, it should all be the same. Yes.
It needs to be in reverse chronological order.
Can you say that all about
It needs to be in reverse chronological order. It's kind of scattered around a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, can you even tell what the chronological order is? Not really highlighted, right? Agreed. Yeah. So generally, resumes will have dates kind of where that Raleigh NC and the GPA is. You want to put for every single activity or example that you have on there, you want to put a date, you want to put a location, and just kind of highlight that. So you'll normally put them, like you said, in chronological order. That way it's clear when you did them, because on this resume, you have to actually read each bullet to figure out when they did it, where they did it.
It all needs to be one time, so that it doesn't pass.
Awesome. Yeah. So it all needs to be in the same tense, and it needs to be in those good action words like you're talking about, right? Yeah.
I think the objective's too vague. It's like overly restrictive.
Yeah, I agree. Someone in the back said that too when I was walking back there, that you don't even know what their objective is. And the whole point is to highlight exactly what you're looking for. I think he really wants candy. So, yeah, that's exactly, the entire point of an objective is to state what your objective is. And this just says that you have experience looking to learn new things. So, anyone finish with that? Yeah, in the back, in the gray.
You put Raleigh and C, and then the GPA, like just like randomly, just like awkwardly put over there.
Yeah, so all those spacing should be aligned to the right side.
Yeah.
No, right?
They said I, is it objective?
Yeah, that's something Michaela said you never want to do. Whether it's summary or objective, and it might seem weird because you're talking about yourself, but there is a way to word it so that you don't have to put that there. Yes.
The results are not quantified.
Say that again?
The results are not quantified. Like he said, used artifact. What used artifact?
Yes, exactly. So there's not really much quantity on here. I think the only thing that they have is the number of community service hours. Other than that, you don't really know what they're doing.
Where are we?
Yes,
On the AS and E.
exactly. That's what I was saying. So when I was walking around earlier and looked at some of y'all's resumes, they look great, but a lot of times you won't know specifically what those clubs are, or I don't know what that is. Club, or I don't know. But whether it be a job title, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you explain it, because there's no point in having it on a resume if no one knows what the heck it is.
I moved to in German of Tom in education, just in special
I want to say that one more time a little louder.
German, only in German, I believe it's education, it's impressive.
I agree. Not only that, but
And it's a
if, exactly, if relevant coursework, you can have the German, the speaking German. But also, if you're applying for a job where there might be looking for bilingual, that's definitely something I would highlight on. You don't want to have it at the bottom of the page, hey, I speak another language. That's awesome. Highlight it, because they might be looking to hire someone that can speak 2 languages before someone who doesn't.
A lot of them have really bad verbs, like they could use better action verbs like drew, used, keep.
Yeah, they need our job search guide, right? Yeah.
Under work experience, the first one is just underline the Ross construction, and then they do bold for his teacher and so it's something.
Yeah, definitely. Everything should be consistent, everything, I know someone else mentioned extracurricular activities isn't bolded, everything needs to be the same and uniform. That way, someone can look at this for 30 seconds and know exactly what's on there and not have to read every single detail.
Spelling issues, like activities is so wrong, experience is so wrong.
Yep, yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
You should probably take Enjoy Coupon and Pogo Sticks off the extracurricular activity.
Good, good. Enjoy coupon and pogo sticks. I don't know what, maybe it's one job that could be relevant for, but clown? Yeah, I don't know. You never know, but yes, definitely. Yeah, we don't even know what he's applying for because it's objective, but I'm thinking it shouldn't be on a resume. Anyone else? Candy? Everyone who answered the question got some? Okay.
Alright, so again, yeah, you guys pretty much hit all of these. Don't say I, anyone in resume. Make sure your items are organized, and in extracurriculars, it didn't qualify any of those. Okay, so you have 100 community service hours. Well, what did you do to earn those community service hours? Align the dates. So when you are including dates, make sure you have the month and the year, and as someone else said, the most recent thing on top and the oldest thing on the bottom. So they know what, again, you've done more recently, what's more prevalent in your life. And yeah, moving education to the top. Once you go into the workforce, or once you're a new PhD student, or you still have work under your belt, you maybe move education closer to the bottom, but I don't think any of us are in that point in our life right now. So education at the top. I have a fun little video about resumes. We can get it going. Keep going. Alright, never mind. Alright. Common resume concerns. have the experience? Usually the answer to that question is no. The saying is 1 page for every 10 years of experience. Most of us don't have, I think most of us don't have that kind of experience, so stick to 1 page. If you have a LinkedIn, that's where you can include more items, but that's for another launch. Again, resumes, 3.0 and above, usually that's when you put your GPA on there. If you are applying for a specific job that says you have a 2.5 or above or 2.75, make sure you do include your GPA for that, because if you don't and they ask for it, then you're probably going to need to have your resume taken out. But that, again, that's only if you meet those qualifications. If your cumulative GPA is higher than your current semester GPA, put that, but identify it as your cumulative GPA. If your major GPA, as we said, is higher, put that on there. Common resume concerns. So raise your hand if you are a freshman. Sorry calling y'all out. If you're a sophomore, juniors, seniors. Alright. Happy to see a lot of freshmen here. It's very great that you're coming out here. So relevant experience. It is okay to include high school experiences on there. Employers understand as a first semester freshman or even going into your second semester, you probably don't have a lot of college experiences. So put down your high school experiences. But as you go through college, start taking those high school experiences out and replace them with college experiences. So you want to make sure that you are getting involved and you are including those. Even if you are a junior or senior and maybe you haven't really completed any internships, but maybe you are a lifeguard or you're working in the food industry as a server. Again, as we mentioned before, there are always ways, there are always skills, transferable skills that you can illustrate in work experiences or in your activities or interests. So there's always something to write down. And if you're really struggling to find things, that should be an indication to you to get more involved on campus or off campus. Just get more involved. Alright, I just want to say this, it's a quote on the cob, but it's a quote on the cob. That was a little too big on there. Yeah.
Resumes require you to have a lot of introspection. Alright, so you have to actually think about things that you have done and think about the tasks that you were doing, the accomplishments that you had, all right, but it really is all about balance. So if you're applying for, you know, like a really super specific job, so if you're applying for a political campaign, but you have a whole bunch of outdoor education experience, that's probably not a really balanced resume. And like she said, as you get more into college, you have to start taking that high school experience off. It shows that you are much more currently involved. It's really important for you to think as an employer when you are building your resume. So your resume doesn't necessarily have to be a life story. It's just kind of like a small glimpse into what it is that you have done so far in your life. It's kind of like a story of your accomplishments. All right, but it doesn't have to be your entire life story. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Good. Like she said before, employers kind of look at the top of your resume, all right? So, I'm totally sorry. I'm blanking completely and totally. So, what are employers going to value the most? All right, that's what you need to put towards the top of your resume. That's what you need to highlight the most with your strong action verbs, with your job descriptions, with your transferable skills. And what do they value the most? We spoke about it earlier. It's PAWS. What does P stand for? Professionalism. Professionalism. What does A stand for? Ability to communicate. What does W stand for? What was that?
Working as a team.
Working as a team. And S. Solving problems. Exactly. That's what employers are going to be looking for, and that's what you should be tailoring your resume to.
Also, if you're worried, again, when you're tailoring your resume, so if you are great at pogo sticks, maybe and you're applying for a job as a clown, you would put that on there, but maybe you would leave some of your accounting class, accounting experience, or some other type of experience off. But if you're applying for an accounting firm, maybe you might want to leave off the activity of being good on pogo sticks. So again,
you may be worried, oh, I have to fit everything on one page, and that's what's great about scaling it. So you can take some things off if you're applying for a specific job and replace them with other things.
I can tell you too, I have a Word document of all of my experiences. I don't have all of those experiences on my resume, so anytime I do have a job or, for example, I said I was applying to grad school, not all of my experiences go onto the resume. But it's nice to have a bank where you can always go back and look and see exactly how it's worded or whatever, so that every single time you make a resume, you don't have to redo it. You can already just go and refer to that document that has all of those experiences and handpick what's best for the resume that you're applying for.
So like we said earlier, ask your friends to look at your resume. Hold it out at arm's length, see what jumps out to you, because that's what's going to jump out to an employer. Have your friends go through your resume and do a critique of it, because you know what you meant when you were writing this sentence, but your employer might not know what it is that you're trying to convey. And you want to be as clear and concise as possible, especially on a resume, considering it gets looked at for like a minute, 30 seconds, something like that. A short amount of time. So you want to make sure that you're clear, concise, and that you mean what you actually put on the paper. So, there are a lot of online resources for you to upload your resume to, such as EPAC. EPAC is NC State specific. So only employers that have been vetted through the Career Center are on EPAC, and they will look at your resumes, as well as LinkedIn. So it's really good to start developing your LinkedIn at a really early age, so early semester, early grade. It's important to get your LinkedIn developed early, so that way you have less to catch up on when you're a senior and you're freaking out because you're like, oh my god, I need a job, let me make a LinkedIn, and then you have to have all of this information on it. So get on LinkedIn, you can put your resume up on it, and as it's up on here, EPAC is good for 1 year after graduation. So you seniors out there, you have access to EPAC an entire year. Use it. It's
Don't
way
wait till
really
then.
helpful.
Start now.
Start now. Always start now. Even if you're a freshman, start now. Go to Career Fairs. You get a lot of experience. The Career Center offers a lot of services for you guys. So we have mock interviews, we have appointments, and then I think we have, what is it, like not emergency, speed appointments or something like that? Is it up there? Yeah. Express hours, that's what it's called. Where you're like, oh my gosh, I have an interview in an hour, come in for 15 minutes, do a quick critique, go back, make those edits, and go to your interview with your resume. We have all these resources that are available to you as students, so use them. Employers really, really like when you're professional and you're already there as a college student, so you kind of get a leg up on a lot of other people that don't necessarily have these experiences. And every college, so the College of Design, the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Cal, all of that, they all have their own career-specific, or no,
Advisor.
career-specific, thank you. They're saying the words, I can't come out. But they're all there to help you in order to be a successful professional and kind of bridge that gap from college to the professional world.
If you don't know your career counselor, you should look into knowing them ASAP. They are just as important as your advisors, just because they can help you after college, they can help you start preparing for that, whereas your advisors are really just helping you with your coursework. These people are here to help you for longer than just these 4 years. So good to know them.
And your career counselor, you can make an appointment with your career counselor on EPAC. So I think by making an appointment, you can find out who your career counselor is. And freshmen especially, don't go to career fairs. Don't wait till, it's everyone, don't wait till the career fair that really matters. So if you're in pool and you're a senior and you really need to find that job, don't wait till senior year and the pool career fair to go out and try and get experience. Go to career fairs that aren't necessarily in your league. So I'm a communication major, and I went to an engineering career fair last year as a freshman. I'm not looking for engineering internships, but I got the experience